What's up, guys? I'm Johnny Highlander, and this is your weekly wrestling recap. Today, I got a super cool video for you guys. You guys are gonna love it. I'm gonna run down the top 10 wrestlers who have crossed over from wrestling to mainstream fame and popularity. So that's what we're gonna be covering today. Wrestlers who started out in wrestling, but then went on to become household names in the United States and the world. So let's get started. We're going to start out with number 10. Number 10, Jesse Ventura. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Jesse Ventura. He was the host of a really cool TV show that I watched called Conspiracy Theory. I thought it was really interesting. Jesse Ventura went around and researched all kinds of crazy conspiracies. It was quite entertaining. And before that, he was the governor of the state of Minnesota. So Jesse Ventura started out as a wrestler, Jesse the Body Ventura, and he went on to become known to most people in America who are informed. So number 10, Jesse Ventura. We're going to move on to number 9. Number 9, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho not only is a wrestler that has lasted years and years and years and has never lost any of his skill or any of his ranking in the main event scene. He's consistently right at the top, wrestling either for the United States or the Intercontinental Championship, or maybe the tag team belts when him and the Big Show were part of a tag team called the Jerry Show. But also Chris Jericho has a band, and he's got several very popular songs that are all over the internet and radio as well. So that's number 9, Chris Jericho. I'm sure you guys all know that recently Chris Jericho has gone over to New Japan and had some 5-star matches with Kenny Omega. So Chris Jericho has maintained his position at the top of the headlines. I think him and the Young Bucks are actually going to have a tag team match on board his ship somewhere out at sea, and it's been great seeing the build up for that on BTE. I'm sure you guys are familiar with BTE. It's a great show, and Matt and Nick consistently just do a great job of making entertaining episodes, and just like making better characters, just making their wrestling more entertaining on a whole. So props to Matt and Nick Jackson for BTE, and to Chris Jericho for setting up this tag team match that he's going to have with the Bucks. And I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be awesome. So number 8 on this list of wrestlers who have crossed over from the world of wrestling to mainstream popularity is CM Punk. Now, CM Punk just captured the attention of wrestling fans the world over when he dropped his pipe bomb promo in 2011. And to most wrestling fans, CM Punk is a huge hero. But he's become more well known since he's joined the UFC, and he's participated in quite a few matches. And anyone who's a fan of mixed martial arts or UFC or anything like that knows CM Punk and is well aware of him. And also his well-publicized trial with the WWE has brought more notoriety to CM Punk. So number 8, CM Punk. Number 7, Bill Goldberg. Goldberg has not only stayed popular in the world of wrestling, but he also has starred in several movies. I'm not going to say that they're good movies, but he has at least starred in some movies and has become pretty well known to many of the people, even outside the world of wrestling. So that's number 7, Bill Goldberg. Number 6, Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin is possibly the most famous wrestler of all time. There's going to be quite a lot of super famous wrestlers on this list. So Steve Austin, in addition to being in the WWE, of course, he's also been in several movies. I just can think of like The Condemned, and I'll think he's also in The Expendables, and there are a lot of other movies that he's in. So Steve Austin, he's probably known to even people outside of the world of wrestling. You could ask 9 out of 10 people on the street, and they would know who Steve Austin was. So number 6, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 5, John Cena. Now, John Cena as well has just been in the Hollywood scene. He's been in several movies. I really liked the Marine movie, actually. It was a good action movie. I'm not going to say it was going to win any awards, but it was just a fun action movie, and I loved uh, watching John Cena kick the bad guys' butts. I think that's what we all watched John Cena for. So, number 5, John Cena. And now, number 4, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been the UFC champion. He's participated in multiple mixed martial arts fights. Anyone who knows anything about, like I said, MMA with CM Punk knows who Brock Lesnar is. Not only has he been the WWE champion, the Universal champion for 400 plus days, he's also recently challenged Daniel Cormier uh, to the UFC heavyweight belt, so it's very likely that we're going to see Lesnar drop the belt, hopefully, in the very near future. And he's going to go on over to the UFC and have a few more fights there, hopefully, and just make a massive payday. As if he needs any more money, though. How much is the WWE paying this guy to not show up? And they've been teasing this Roman Reigns thing for the past 4 years. Like you'd think at some point they would move on to something else, but I guess they haven't. But anyway, as for purposes of this list, number 4, Brock Lesnar. So number 3, probably the most well-known wrestler of all time, Hulk Hogan. Now Hulk Hogan not only was a fixture at the top of the WWF scene for a decade, but he also starred, like many of the other people on this list, in multiple movies. He's been in multiple movies, and anyone in the United States who's even has a basic knowledge of pop culture probably knows who Hulk Hogan is. Like I said, he is probably the most recognizable and well-known wrestler of all time. So number 3, Hulk Hogan. Number 2, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Go to watch any movie in the theaters these days, and 2018 is what I'm talking about, and you're sure to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the starring role in at least one of the movies, probably at any time of the year. Of this year, 2018. I can think of just like Jumanji that he's been in, Skyscraper, Rampage, all the most recent Fast and the Furious movies. He was in that movie San Andreas. The recent Hercules movie directed by Brett Ratner, he was in that one. Just so many movies, and apparently he's the most highest paid actor of that's currently getting jobs there in Hollywood. Apparently, he's the highest paid actor. I was just trying to think if I'd heard of someone else being paid more than him. I think I heard that like Mark Wahlberg was making more money than The Rock, but the second or the highest paid actor in Hollywood, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So that says a lot for wrestlers who have crossed over to mainstream popularity in movies. Every month of the year, he's got a movie that's in theaters in 2018, and he's the highest paid actor in the world. So that says a lot about wrestlers crossing over to mainstream popularity and how it can be done, and it can be done well. So a lot of you might be mystified because I came to Dwayne The Rock Johnson at number 2, and I've already mentioned Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin, who could possibly be in the number 1 spot. Well, I've saved the best for last for you guys because I know you guys like to be surprised and you guys like something unexpected. So the number 1 most famous crossover wrestler that's crossed over from wrestling to mainstream popularity to mainstream fame, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now, before The Rock was ever doing his thing in Hollywood movies, Rowdy Roddy Piper was starring in blockbuster movies during the summer movie season. Like the movie that I'm thinking of is called They Live. If you guys haven't seen it, it's awesome. Rowdy Roddy Piper was the good guy kicking bad guys' asses in the movies way before The Rock was. So, number 1 most famous wrestler to cross over from wrestling to mainstream popularity, Rowdy Roddy Piper. So, thanks for listening, guys. I've been your host, Johnny Highlander. This has been your weekly wrestling recap. I'll talk to you guys later.